Never in a million years should you cross this bridge. Posted to TikTok by Real Horror Talk. A man on a motorcycle enters onto a narrow wooden bridge crossing a wide and fast moving river. There are no railings. Let's watch. As he rides steadily across, he looks to his right and then to his left. The water is flowing rapidly past. He continues on as if he does this every day, and maybe he does. Those in the comments say when he looked left, they fell in the water. Others say it's like a terrible dream, but TikToker Trust Me has a more accurate reading. He writes, "How my parents got to school. I think we've all been there." Some rather unexplained paranormal activity was caught on video when a ghost hunter by the name of Tracy puts their camera on the floor of a haunted house, one of the many haunted places in an unnamed ghost town they're exploring all alone. Soon, strange noises are heard as a shadow figure slowly plays against the wall. This might be an actual shadow figure, or someone walking across the window to create the appearance of one. The noises make sound like they could be special effects played from a speaker. Recorded from Haunted Room 405 in San Antonio's Emily Morgan Hotel, this phantom is reflected. Watch the bottom right corner of the mirror. A misty shape appears there for a moment before the camera turns right. Watch again. Did you see that? Well, this could simply be the change in light as the camera shifts. I want to believe. Do you? Can a person passing away stop the clocks? This video posted by LMonkA7X to the Ghosts subreddit calls that into question. Monk explains in the comments that his partner was working the night shift at the hospital when a patient passed at 3:11 a.m. Porters arrived to transport the body around 45 minutes later. Not long after, a nurse was logging the passing in the computer when she observed a clock's hand spinning rapidly. The passing was logged into the computer at 4:10 a.m. and a minute later the clock stopped spinning at 4:11 a.m., exactly an hour after the man's passing. While Monk admits to ordinarily being a skeptic, his partner's reaction to what happened, as well as everyone else's in the ward, convinced him that this was no practical joke. This was real. All who paid witness to the odd timing were shaken up over it. Being that the clock is analog and not digital, Monk suggests it's strange that the clock stopped on the exact right time of day after going berserk. He also believes that the whole thing was paranormal, being that the clock's actions coincided with the passing of the patient and the processes surrounding it. What do you think? Coincidence or not? The people of Reddit are on both sides of the fence. Either way, the timing couldn't have been creepier. This dashcam video originates from somewhere in Russia. A large truck swerves out of the way of something invisible, narrowly missing oncoming traffic in the process. Then a pedestrian suddenly appears from behind the truck and calmly walks away like nothing happened. The uploader of this video is sure that this is a ghost, and assuming this video is not CGI, I would have to agree. Slow the video down and you can clearly see how nothing is in the truck's path at first, and then the person instantly appears only after the truck has passed. It's almost as if the truck has passed straight through them. It's 1:30 at night, and David Oman is working late from his home office. He feels like he is no longer alone, so he glances at his CCTV system just in time to see a shadow briefly pass by. David quickly archives this strange occurrence and uploads it to YouTube. The shadow itself looks transparent and moves way too fast to be a normal person. This video almost looks like it was sped up to create this ghostly effect. But if this really is the normal speed, then I have no idea what else this could be besides a paranormal intrusion. It's late at night when a group of friends hear a woman screaming for help and decide to investigate inside the house. They enter and look around trying to figure out where the woman is. Soon the cameraman realizes their female friend is no longer with them, and as they head upstairs they see her getting dragged into a room. They try to go back downstairs, but there's someone blocking their path who appears to be possessed. With the group trapped inside the house, they are eventually each picked off by whatever was in that house. According to the footage, the group was never seen again. And though their reactions seem quite realistic, I've been unable to find more information on the incident, so therefore I cannot decide whether this is real or a skit. A student needs to leave during the middle of a hailstorm, so without thinking they grab the first thing they can find, which happens to be an aluminum foil pan, and charge out into the elements. Marissa follows behind another student to see what happens next, but they don't even get around the corner before they find themselves in just as much danger. Lightning strikes close enough to shut the power off and makes some random people inside scream for their lives. Somehow the bolt of lightning misses the student's metal-covered head and they are okay, but still, I bet running out of there made it strike much closer to them than it would have otherwise. Moral of the story? I hope everyone has learned to stay safe in their room anytime it's like this outside. If you've ever been in a bug swarm of any kind, you'll know it can give you chills. This Mayfly Swarm is no different. In fact, it's practically nightmarish.
Oh my God!
When the Mayflies took over this bridge in Iowa, snowplows were required to unblock the swarm buzzing in the bridge's path. In fact, the bridge had been so completely swarmed by the bugs that emergency crews were sent to the area. The nightmare scene turned into a scary situation after bikers tried to plow through the massive heap of mayflies but lost traction. Luckily, they escaped. The bridge's clearing was recorded by Tina Franson as she rode along in her son's police car. Franson said of the event, "I've lived in Sabula since '75. I've never seen that many before, ever." To clear the bugs over the following weeks, it was decided by the Iowa Department of Transportation to keep the streetlights off near the bridge, as the lights attract the mayflies. Here's hoping it all worked out for Iowa. They don't need any more of this nightmare fuel. This YouTuber isn't sure if deep web mystery boxes are real or not, so he buys as many of them as he can as an experiment of sorts. Sure enough, some of them don't have anything weird inside at all, while others look as though they were packaged by a complete psycho. Take this dirty stuffed animal that's been stuffed with even dirtier stuffed animals, for instance. In the very last one is a pill container, presumably for smuggling purposes. The creepiest package of all is full of abused dolls. It looks like it was made by someone with serious problems. You can see how they cut off the doll's fingers one by one here. Then they made this children's pop-up book filled with occult symbiology.
No.
No.
Then they are about to throw the whole box away when suddenly a yellow Teletubby doll with a burnt face grabs their attention. Listen to the sound it makes and tell me how this noise is even possible. At this point, he's seen enough and decides not to open any more boxes. The only problem is at least several more are heading to his address in the mail. There's nothing more disturbing than the sound of an unexpected and unknown siren. What could possibly be impending? A tornado tearing through the town? What are we being warned about? Posted by Epic Memer Boy 0123 to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes that he started to hear sirens randomly midday. In the clip, the sirens sound quite high-pitched, almost like a car horn beeping long and restlessly. Several in the comments suggest it's a test siren of some kind, either for tornado warnings or other emergencies. The Redditor clarifies that it lasted for around 10 to 15 minutes. Superman Connor writes, that definitely sounds too long to be a tornado siren then. When the Redditor mentions that a friend said it was an air raid siren, Superman responds those only last about 30 seconds. It seems the Redditor isn't the only one suffering from unknown siren syndrome. The Wastelander 96 writes, something similar happened near here a couple nights ago when the sirens just went off for like 10 to 15 minutes and then just stopped. Perhaps it is an emergency siren that they are testing, but for a different kind of emergency. Wonder what that could be. The Art Man channel is full of various lighthearted adventures taken from all around the country, but there's one video from his stay in Carpinteria, California that's way different from the rest. Art is wading in the water when he sees the last thing any surfer wants to see, a pointy fin barely poking above the surface.
What? What the f***? That's creepy.
Art watches in stunned silence as a sizable great white shark swims by the nose of his boat, less than 10 feet away. It's not full grown, but it's still large enough to make a meal out of one of his arms or legs if it so desires. Fortunately, the shark moves on without much hesitation, and Art makes a beeline to the shore. If this is a different kind of shark other than a great white, please let me know. That's what it says in the video's description and title, but I honestly can't tell for sure. A YouTuber named North by Wild West is enjoying Christmas with the family when suddenly a low rumbling noise from the woods gets everyone's attention.
The tree?
What was that?
Oh my god. Did you see that?
They see something dart behind the garage, and everyone rushes out of the door for a closer look. Soon they see the large dark outline of a large creature stomping off in the distance.
No way.
That can't be.
What the?
They don't see it again for a long time, but then it reappears along their property line for a bit longer before disappearing for good.
Oh my god.
At first I thought this video was probably fake because I did not hear any genuine fear in their voices, but then I realized they simply sounded uncertain of the situation themselves, which is reasonable. After all, this could be a real forest creature or someone in a gorilla suit. It could even be a neighbor playing a prank on them for all they know, but I do think, given these possibilities, their lackluster reaction is genuine. A YouTuber named Seg goes into the woods and finds an old rotten house. He and his friends feel something watching them nearby and they both run away. As they are checking out the raw video a few minutes later to see what it was, this strange orange circle pays them a visit and hangs around the corner of the shot.
Mate, did I get it? Alright, would you go watch your footage back?
To be perfectly honest, this looks like it is almost definitely the cameraman's thumb, but Seg says the orange light is way too bright to be anything but the supernatural. He says that this is the only source of light, and therefore something behind the light should not be brighter than everything else in the shot. I'm not sure if I buy this theory, so I wanted to run it by you. Is this a ghostly presence or a ghost investigator's thumb? Randy Doss claims to live in a haunted house and offers this video evidence for proof.
I dare you to slam that door.
They start recording this video after the door opens all by itself, at which point they try to get the spirit to do something else, and with that said, the ghost seemingly takes up the challenge. Watch the crack in the door and you'll see there's absolutely nobody on the other side.
No.
Just for the record, it's only Nick and I here.
Just when the door almost slams shut, this happens.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god!
Whoa.
The obvious answer is that there is a child standing on the other side of the door, but look again. There appears to be nothing more than an empty sleeve, and more importantly, it doesn't make contact with the door at all. This makes me think that whatever forced the door open could have also rustled the nearby jacket too. This giant flat creature is actually a beached oarfish laying on its side. A confirmed bystander pushes it back into the water with her paddle, which could be a mistake because it proceeds to head directly for the person holding the camera. Although it seems more concerned with getting away than taking a bite, this is still not an animal that I would want to have anywhere near me, especially in such shallow waters. It almost seems to make eye contact as it passes directly under her feet before straightening out and swimming away. While communicating with lost souls in the witch's mirror, YouTube team Toppy's session gets dark. Nastya explains where the mirror comes from.
Данное зеркало принадлежало моей покойной прабабушке. Прабабушка славилась тем, что она была шептухой.
And she begins the ritual. It sounds like something wants out of the mirror. And a shadow falls on the wall beside Nastya. The whole team comes, and through a spirit box, they ask if someone is there.
Я включаю спиритбокс. С нами кто-нибудь сейчас здесь есть?
After communicating with the spirits for a time, they leave a still camera in front of the mirror, and this is what they capture. What is this strange dark haze? Is it the spirit? I think it is. If I had to guess, I'd say this witch's mirror is a portal to the afterlife, one that shouldn't be tampered with. Brian Wood is not home when somebody he doesn't know decides to enter his home in Belen, New Mexico. All he can do is watch helplessly as they violate his home, walking out with item after item of things he's worked hard for. Knowing the police are on the way gives Brian some relief, but it doesn't do much good when somebody enters the same room as your pets and you have no idea what they intend to do to them. The intruder doesn't seem to care about his cat. He's done this many times before and is so at ease that he makes a phone call when he walks around a stranger's home talking to someone about the items he's taking while ransacking drawers and jacket pockets. By the time he's through, he's standing right in front of a security camera. He doesn't even seem fazed or worried about getting caught as he palms it and leaves. Cops arrived minutes too late, but he was caught the next day. He makes no attempt to conceal his face or fingerprints, so I'm not surprised. If Brian didn't have this creepy encounter recorded on live stream, it would have been a lot harder. A YouTuber named Goodnote is exploring the Illinois countryside when he stumbles upon a secluded burial ground in the middle of nowhere. He instantly recognizes this place as the Witch's Circle, a nefarious hangout where certain people have been known to practice black magic and summon spirits. Goodnote breaks out his drone for a better look, but the wind seems to mysteriously pick up every time he tries to take flight. I personally don't see anything out of the ordinary here, but let me know if you do. Anyway, there's another video that he took on foot that I'm way more interested in. He shot this at the beginning of the visit. He's walking up to the entrance and says he got a really weird feeling. Then his phone's battery goes from 52% to 0 and suddenly shuts off. What's even weirder is how, no matter how hard he tries, He can't seem to upload this video onto any other mobile device. It plays perfectly fine on his phone and nothing else. The only way he was able to get it on YouTube was by filming the screen with another camera. I try not to make assumptions without having enough evidence, but it's almost as if something really didn't want to be seen or shared with us on that gray, overcast day. A Nepali YouTube channel named AnishGurangTV are not full-time ghost investigators, but they do have some paranormal investigation videos in abandoned places that get pretty creepy. An apparition seems to follow them on one of their urban explorations. This is when they first hear it. I want to say that this is the wind, but it's a calm night and this sounds way too much like a haunting moan. They reach the top and look around, feeling the presence of a ghost near them at all times. There's nowhere else left to explore, so they go back to the bottom and are about to leave when they hear it again twice. But I've saved the best paranormal evidence for last. At 4 minutes and 20 seconds, they capture these eyes and a sigh from behind. They didn't hear or see it at the time, but like I said in the beginning, they're not professional ghost investigators and missed some of the scariest things caught on camera. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.